Happy Monday, everybody.
Hola, familia.
Hola, familia.
How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I mean, there's a lot to feel, especially as we enter into this Cancer full moon portal.
I mean, it's just happening like almost as we speak.
Yeah, in a couple hours. So if you've been feeling emotional over the last couple of days, like a dam that's about to burst, let yourself burst, baby.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay? Because this is your full moon.
Great, everyone.
Angel's our resident Cancer moon. Cancer moon.
Am I canceled?
Yeah, you've been canceled.
Oh my god.
That's what happens when you've got all these planets in retrograde, like Mercury and Venus.
You get canceled?
You get canceled.
You do things like
Things from your past get dredged up and you get canceled.
Lead you to getting canceled. Okay, no one's getting canceled here.
Not today.
But we are talking about the Cancer full moon that's happening. And yeah, the Cancer full moon is, I think, one of the most important ones because it's when the moon goes into her home base.
Yeah.
You know, like really feels alive and potent in that Cancer energy, which is, as Brandon was saying, emotional. It asks you to feel all the feelings. But Cancer also rules our intuition as well. So I think right now, whatever emotions you're feeling, do your best to really feel into them. And that doesn't mean you have to spend all day just like an open wound, like absorbing whatever energy is trying to show up for you, whatever feelings want to come up for you.
I'm feeling very targeted over here for that last statement.
Isn't that about you? But I would just say at least take some time today to really just like feel into your heart, even if it's just like 20 minutes of meditation for yourself, or quiet space, stillness, where you're just like, okay, what are all the feelings that want to come up? Because if you can allow yourself to feel all the feelings, it does give you a deeper connection to intuition, because intuition on some level also exists on a feeling place, right? It's like, that's why it's like, oh, I had a feeling. So just know that for you to get a deeper connection to your intuitive self, you have to feel all the other feelings that come along with it.
Yeah, and maybe clear out some of those blockages. Cancer also takes us into the past,
Yep.
Connects us with our ancestry and our ancestors, and so you might find that you are feeling more than just belongs to you, and it might be that you are somebody that's supposed to feel for your whole bloodline, and that's just something that you're waking up to under this Cancer full moon, which opposes Pluto, which makes it a little bit more intense than it would ordinarily be, and asks you to transform, to let your emotions, your feels, transform you.
Yeah, and for our practical folks out there, our earth signs, like even just like clearing out some stuff in your house, some old things that, are attachments to other parts of your life that no longer exist, that can be a really productive time around, or a productive project for you, activity around this time.
But that's just today, babies, and this week is wild, astrologically speaking, so we're just going to try to give you some of the hot spots here. So literally tomorrow, the nodes of fate are going to shift out of Sagittarius, Gemini, and into Taurus, Scorpio, which means we are done with that 1.5-year cycle of Sagittarius, Gemini. Thank goddess, honestly, because that was a lot. So it's nice. We're moving from fire and air into earth and water, North Node Taurus, South Node Scorpio, which means that everything we've been dreaming about and thinking about starts to take root. And so you'll want to just pay attention tomorrow when the nodes shift into the Taurus Scorpio axis. What sort of opportunities are presenting themselves to you that want to be physicalized, embodied? The next 1.5 years is about putting things into practice. Now, you get to move slowly. We had somebody slide into our DMs that said, thank you so much for giving me permission to start the new year in February, because a lot of people are still feeling burnt out. And just because you had a week off or a weekend of naps doesn't mean that you're fully replenished. So with Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, Uranus retrograde in Chile stations this week, which we'll get to in a hot second, you can still move slowly, but start to notice how I can put things into practice. Because that's really what Taurus Scorpio wants us to do, put things into practice, and to release, Scorpio, the old anchors and the old psychological patterning. Scorpio is fixed water. It's how our emotions become fixed into psychological patterns. And so the South Node in Scorpio allows us to release some of that by creating new physical practices, Taurus.
Yeah, it feels like the theme of it on one level that also combines with the Cancer full moon is like, please help me release whatever is no longer mine.
Yeah.
It feels like so much, right?
Yeah.
It's like whatever baggage you may have been carrying with you, both this nodal shift and this moon, the combination of that is a lot of like release what is no longer necessary.
Yeah, it's last degrees of water signs, last degrees of Cancer, last degrees of Scorpio. And so, yeah, there is that really beautiful invitation.
Yeah. And then on the same day, we also have Uranus's shift direct.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Girl, tomorrow's a big day.
Well, it's the 20th.
Oh, well, tomorrow's the 18th.
Oh, no, so it's the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have Uranus going direct, finally. And it's in Taurus as well. So it is like such a grounding energy there. But, you know, Uranus is unpredictable and it's all about change. So you may experience some rather unexpected shifts, changes, you know, just some surprises in your life this week. Whenever a big planet like that shifts direction, it tends to create some sort of like, you know, tectonic shift in your life.
Yeah.
So just really, particularly paying attention to wherever you have Taurus in your chart.
Yeah, it's gonna get super activated tomorrow with the North Node moving in there and then Uranus changing directions.
Yeah. But if anything, it wants to push us towards stabilizing because it's in Taurus. So even if it's a shift that on some level makes you feel a little uncomfortable, know that its driving force is one of stability.
And we always talk about Uranus as the great liberator too.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to like do something drastic in order to liberate yourself into your authenticity. And then once you make like the dramatic change of like getting a tattoo or cutting your hair off or piercing, these are very Uranian things, all of a sudden that helps you kind of ground into that new authenticity. So it feels jarring at first, but then it starts to find its roots.
Yeah, yeah. And it could be something great.
And speaking of jarring, Aquarius season, which
yeah.
starts on the 19th, right?
Yeah.
So Sun moves out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, ushering us into 4 weeks of innovation and eccentricity. We will be covering all of this on is it the 19th? On Thursday, whatever day that is. That's going to be our Aquarius season Astro Club.
We're so good with time.
We're so good with time and space. We're outside of time and space. And Aquarius season, and we'll talk more about it in Astro Club and next week, but it really is that opportunity to move out of the personal future, which is Capricorn, and into the collective future, which is Aquarius. So we want to start thinking more globally, more about humanitarian causes, about how our individuality is part of a larger web that's being woven for ourselves.
Yeah, and it's wanting to illuminate whatever area in your chart Aquarius rules.
Yeah, because the sun's going to be there shining their light.
Yeah.
All right, we are still going to pull a card. I realize it's a little bit of a long
lot of
one.
astrology.
A lot of astrology this week. 9 of Pentacles, not reversed. We pulled her direct. Just look at you. Look at you in your beautiful garden. This is like a very Taurus North Node card.
Oh my God, completely.
It's like a felt sense of your own true value. And so Taurus rules our values. Venus retrograde is getting us to reconsider our values. And so it's not just about like, what do you put value in? It's also about what is your own value? Are you in relationships? Are you working on projects? Are you living in places that reflect your value back to yourself? And you can see that you're here, you're standing in this beautiful garden, you're surrounded by your pentacles, you have this falcon perched on your hand. There's this sense that like you're at peace in your secret garden, nourished by your own understanding of what you are worth in the world, even if outside of your garden there's turmoil, there's difficulty. And so I would just say that this is a really good week to plant your flag in the ground of what you are worth and start to demand it, if not from anybody else, from yourself. What are behaviors and patterns and practices that you can start to initiate that reinforce that you are worth it, whether that's changing your diet, meditating, buying yourself a good smelling candle or some new clothes, but something that says like, I'm worth treating myself well and I'm worth demanding that in the way that I relate to other people as well.
Yes, demand your worth.
It's a beautiful week. It's a lot of energy. You don't have to move quickly, but we encourage you to receive it all and just notice what's coming up for you. Pay attention to your intuition. And maybe we'll see you this week, either Wednesday at our Spirit World Circle. Mars will be conjunct the Galactic Center that day, so a lot of psychic insights are available if that tempts you. And then Thursday for our Astro Club.
All right, y'all. Have a great week.
Love you.